Hello, beach friends. Today we are going to one of my favorite beaches, Fort Myers Beach. It's very close to my home, so this is the beach. This is kind of my go-to beach. I'm coming here at low tide, and we're gonna find really cool spiky things, really cool smooth things, really cool live things, really cool dead things. And this shell, I can't wait to share that with you too. Now, as I'm going along the beach, I'm going to pick up and identify all the things that I'm finding. And if you're ready to see what all is out there for us today, let's go to the beach. Lovely Fort Myers Beach. So this is literally the beach that convinced me to move to this area. So it does have a very special place in my heart. Now, it's not all that balmy. It's 53, it feels like 49. And yeah, it's cold for me. It is cold. But that crazy low tide, that is what I'm here for. And it looks like we're going to start off with a lightning whelk. That is a great size, yeah, perfect. Lightning whelk. Oh, here's another one. Now, you got to be careful when you come at low tide. So that creature is alive. Whoops, I'm so sorry, friend. So I was looking for the shell. Unfortunately, I disturbed the animal as well. So I'll just kind of tuck it back in. There you go. Sorry about that. So yes, I have a very strict, you must be dead to come home with me policy. So here is a sand dollar. I'm gonna rinse that off. Now, yep, it's cold and I'm not all that happy about getting my hands wet, but it is what it is to get these sand dollars. I'm gonna have to kind of take one for the team. So that is a beautiful keyhole urchin. That's a gastropod, empty, a banded tulip. And that's actually a really nice looking banded tulip. For this beach, that's a great shell. That's a lettered olive. Give it the old shine test. So those shells can be very, very shiny, and I'm always rubbing my thumb over it. It's just what I do. I pick up an olive, I rub my thumb over it just to see if it's gonna be really shiny. Okay, another lightning whelk. Are we dealing with a creature or a shell? Creature, okay? We're gonna leave that alone. And I try not to disturb them, but it's really hard because I'm here looking for the seashells. And so I try to be very careful. If I think the animal might be alive, I try to be careful. Give it a check. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Okay, see what I mean? Like that could have been alive, but it's just a seashell. So try to be careful. And this is another really nice looking lightning whelk, if I do say so myself. That aperture, so the opening, which is on the left side, well, that's kind of neat. It's got that orange band on it. And there's no two seashells alike, so I really like to appreciate all the little intricacies of these fine beach treasures. Whoa, another nice looking sand dollar. Now, don't let the color fool you. I'm going to show you a couple of live ones and a couple of dead ones, and we'll talk about the difference between the live sand dollars and the dead sand dollars. These, if they are a little bit lighter in color, that is an indication that the animal has died, and that is especially that, well, I shouldn't say that, maybe the green stuff growing on it. I suppose it's possible for that to grow on a live animal as well, but that one is clearly expired, completely safe to collect. And the size, that it's huge. So I definitely would like to hold on to that. Okay, here we got another one. Wow, so look at the size of that. So those are really big. For sand dollars, those are really big. Wow, that's neat. All right, that one didn't pass the muster. It had a little bit of a chip in it, so. Can only carry so many home. Oh my gosh, the pattern on that one is beautiful. Yep, I'm gonna hold on to that one for sure. Gorgeous. So yeah, a couple of beautiful sand dollars to kick off the morning. So I did bring my delicates container. Ugh, and I can only fit so many in there. So I'm going to be choosy about the ones that I decide to keep. So let's see what else is out there. Oh man, I wish that would fit in my container. I'm just kidding. I actually have a couple of bags with me, so if I needed to, I would make do. Believe me. Look at so for me, like the size of these, so many, and they're huge. So these are all expired, clearly. I will show you a live one when we come upon one, but these are all completely collectible dead sand dollars. Wow. Wow. So it was nuts, and that was a very big one. So I kind of had to make do because they were not all going to fit in that one little container I had. I had another shell bag, so I put them in a shell bag, this shell bag, in my other shell bag. So I did kind of try, as I might, would try to get them home in one piece. Now this is 2 live lightning welks. I can tell they're probably, how should we say, getting busy. We'll just leave it at that. So I believe that larger one is a female and that smaller one was probably a male. Not guaranteed, but they were probably alive. So I'm just going to take a peek and leave them be. All right, so I've made it to the pier. Oh, I love this pier. It's very iconic for the south end of Fort Myers Beach. So I'm south of the pier at this point. That is an apple murex. Got a little bit of beach stuff. That will pick off. That white stuff, no problem. Beautiful apple murex. And a moon snail. Let's see how colorful you are. Oh, very nice colorful moon snail. I don't typically find all that many here on Fort Myers Beach, but I do think the most spectacular one I've ever found was here. So you never know. You never know. Look at the pattern on that one. Isn't that pretty? I think I've heard it called alligator pattern skin. I don't know. And I don't know why some of them just have that pattern. So it does happen. This is not the first time I've seen it. Isn't it gorgeous? Now, sometimes that pattern will stay on there. It'll get a little bit lighter and sometimes it completely goes away. It just kind of depends. That is an apple murex. Sans beach stuff on it and a little bit more on the brown side. I don't have a preference really on the color of the apple murex. That is a pear whelk. So far finding some pretty good specimens here at low tide at Fort Myers Beach. Calico clam. It's on the common side. I just think they're pretty. So I do happen to pick up a lot of these when I go to the beach. The calico clam. And this common nutmeg, oh darn it. It's a little bit pitted on the other side, but when you hold it like that, and it's so big, I think I'm going to make an exception and hold on to that. What about you, lettered olive? Oh, looks like you're... Nope, didn't pass the shine test. We're just going to hang on to this common nutmeg. Now, this sand dollar is alive and well, unlike those other ones we picked up. I know it's still dark in color, but look at all these little hairs on it. And those little hairs are moving around. Now, the center right there, that's its mouth. And all those little hairs help it move, and it also helps move food into that mouth there. So if you're not sure if your sand dollar that you found is alive or dead, the first thing you can do is look for those hairs. I'm going to return this critter back to the water. And it's going to take me a minute because it was low tide. There you go. So all the live stuff stays at the beach. A buttercup lucine, the most common lucine that I find. There are quite a few, but the buttercup lucine seems to be the one I find the most. Now, the giant Atlantic cockle. These are pretty common, and I didn't pay them a whole lot of attention for a while, and then all of a sudden I thought they were pretty cool. So I do like these giant Atlantic cockles. I call them beach bowls, and I really like them if that interior color is real pretty. Now, this is another live sand dollar. I'm going to leave this one alone. You can kind of see that it's moving, so those little hairs are going to help it move. And then you do see that one keyhole on the bottom by the petal pattern. That's going to grab food and move it underneath into that mouth on the underside. Pretty cool, right? All right, let's see what else is out there. We found live stuff, dead stuff. Let's go find some cool stuff, some spiky stuff. Here we have, I would say, both cool and spiky. That is a crown conch. One of the shells that can be just a hot mess even if the critter is alive. A lot of times the shells are very beautiful if the critter is alive. That's not always the case with these crown conchs. So that little shell, gorgeous, but it's empty. Yeah. Usually, I shouldn't say usually. Sometimes they can be quite muddy, and we'll find some of those. Look at the size. So I was trying to show you the size of that giant kind of light colored lettered olive. These are both lettered olives. They just come in a variety of colors and patterns and sizes. You don't always get them that big. That's a very substantial lettered olive. And more crown conchs. Yeah. Two. They do like the mud. And so, yeah, these shells, these are kind of great. It's almost like mystery shells because I find them at the beach and I really don't know how they're going to clean up. Got to be careful of those spikes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's any color at all. Well, all right. Well, throw that in the shell bag. We'll find out later on. Oh, gross. Okay, I'll throw that in the shell bag too. Get this off the beach. Another live sand dollar. Okay, look at all those little hairs. You can, the difference is, to me, I guess because I've seen so many of them, but it is not smooth at all. So that's when you know you've got yourself a live sand dollar. Plus that texture on top, it's kind of leathery. So if it's not smooth, just leave it. Oh, this is a horse conch knuckle. And, yeah, it tricked me. I totally thought, thought I might have found myself a horse conch, but that's okay. Keep looking. Let's see what else we got here. Another massive olive. My poor hand. I know they're a little red because they're so cold. My hands are very, very cold. Oh, I will go over everything, kind of all the stuff that I prepared to come to this little beach outing in a little bit. Right now we're still looking at these spiky, muddy crown conchs. Oh, I just love these shells. I ran into some woman here at Fort Myers Beach once who said she stopped picking them up because she had so many of them. Good for her. I haven't reached that point with the crown conchs yet. So I'm admiring the low tide and all the little sandbars that kind of pop up when the tide goes all the way down. Oh, it's so fun. Oh, what do we have here? Wow. Well, hi there, empty lightning whelk. You are gorgeous. Look at the color. Oh, it's so pretty. Yep. Gorgeous lightning whelk. Oh, this one's in the water too. Whoa, this one's really orange. We had found a really orange one last week too. Oh, that's neat. So just another thing that just kind of appeals to me, all the different colors of these seashells too. Now that is also a very big lightning whelk, but I can see it's alive. I see the animal popping out the very front of the shell here. I can see its foot. So I am not going to go traipsing out there. Just say, hey, hope you find a nice meal. What else could you wish a snail? I don't know. Have a nice morning. Ooh, a true tulip. Oh, very nice. Oh, beautiful. I was waiting for that aperture shot. A gorgeous true tulip. They are much harder to find than the banded tulips. Beautiful. Oh, well, hi there, spiny jewel box. Look at how weirdly shaped you are. Here, let's get rid of some of this seaweed here. Oh, look at you. You're fabulous. You're a little bendy and spiky. Oh, that is a cool spiny jewel box. Oh no, buddy. So we have a little sea star here that's kind of misshapen. It does look like it's got two hands over its head. It's kind of doing like this little dancing leap kind of thing, and that is not the way it's supposed to look. So we'll get you back in the water here. Hopefully you'll get back to your normal shape. So this is neat. I don't know that I've seen the beach kind of look like this. So again, it's low tide. And unfortunately, there's pretty much nobody else here. It's kind of me, but it is what it is. So it is cold. So I did prepare with leggings, swim trunks, and I did go with socks and water shoes. So this is probably the last morning I'm going to do that. After this, I'm likely going to switch to like boots or something to keep my feet dry. I also layered up with a UV shirt, a knit shirt, and I didn't mess around this time. I just wore a jacket. So I have a very thin North Face jacket on. So I was a little cold. It got a little better when the sun peeked out for that 2 seconds it peeked out, but it never really did warm up. So it is a little bit of a challenge to be wet and cold. The water's not so cold. It's the air, and that when your hands are cold, wet rather, and the air is cold. Ugh. So that's a turkey wing. Yeah, it's not pristine. Probably still held on to it anyway. So check this out. So the water is very, very shallow, and those are two dolphins that are in water that is so shallow, their dorsal fins are not even going below the water surface. So they're kind of like shimmying around on their bellies. Now that burst right there, it's chasing a fish. Neat to see right from the beach, to see the animals. I haven't seen dolphin in a while, but kind of neat to see them at low tide shimmying around on their bellies. And I would assume that these are two males. They tend to hang out. The pods are usually the females and the juveniles. So good luck, dolphins. I hope you get your breakfast. Well, hello, Angel Wing. Yeah, you got some beach stuff on you, but you're in pretty good shape otherwise. Kind of weird to find you in the water. Not totally weird, just a little. Oh, and I don't want to go in the water, but I do want the nutmeg. So I think moving forward, I'm going to bring my stick with me so I can kind of put that stick in the water. Try to keep my hands dry. My hands are still going to get wet, though. Whoa, just kind of poking out there. So that is another crown conch that I likely will put in bleach, and then I'll probably put in acid. Some of these shells, I enjoy cleaning them, so the crown conchs are one of them. The results are really, really nice. And a little nutmeg, another common nutmeg. Oh, that's a nice one. A very beaded shell, very pretty. Oh, and this is alive. It is alive and well. Again, with all that cilia, and you can see the surface of it. It is not smooth. Is it warming up? Oh, look at all those hairs. Yep. But don't be fooled. If those hairs are not moving, it still could be alive. So if you're not sure, just leave it at the beach. Really cool. It's nice that I get to see some live ones and collect some of the ones that have expired. So see you later, Sand Dollar. Ooh, tinies. All right. What is here? Okay, we knew Bubbles. We knew Bubbles would be here. A little NASA. So that tiny little shell is. I am definitely looking for Wenzeltrabs. A little button shell. Lots of barnacles. Oh, I do see that fly speck seraph. That is not a Wenzeltrap. A little drill. Yep. A little tiny drill. Oh, it's broken. Bummer. Here we have a little dusky cone. Oh, and look at the little olive too. A little dwarf olive. Look at that. Tiny, tiny shell. So they can be fun too. About this pile. Anything? All right, we got an auger here. Common auger to add to all those other little tiny shells. Cool. Wow, there is lots of seaweed. Yeah, I guess if I think about it, this area can be a little seaweedy. And I don't think I'm going to head south anymore. So I've gone as far south as I'm going to go. We're going to turn around. So if I'm on my way back, I might make my shell bag a little heavier with a fighting conch or two. Look at the chocolate color on that one. Oh, it's gorgeous. Oh, garbage. We're going to get rid of that. Okay, I think it's time for the beach to do some talking. So I'm going to be quiet and let you enjoy some beach time. Oh, yeah. I was going in the water for this shell. This, let me get it. That is an albino lightning whelk, and it happens from time to time. You find the albinos. I haven't found one in a while. How do I know that this just isn't bleached out? Well, that interior, so that aperture, if that is very white and devoid of color, that's what's really going to tip me over the end. And it just takes experience to know whether it's albino or just bleached out. So just keep looking, keep getting the shells, and eventually you kind of learn. Kind of learn what's what. Another crown conch. Oh, there's some color on there. I don't know how that's going to clean up. I guess we're going to have to see. Oh, shark eye. Right, so that is a moon snail. Call that a shark eye. It looks like something might have started to try to drill in those. I'm telling you, they must be delicious. They always have little drill holes in them. Check out this spiny jewel box. Oh, that's awesome. And I love that little spine off the back. Oh, that's really cool. So the spiny jewel box, I love I guess it's really, its defense is those spikes on it, so other snails can't drill holes in it. True tulip. Oh, that's so pretty. So yeah, the true tulips are just a little bit more exciting than the banded tulips. I love the banded tulips, but the trues are a little bit more fun. Is it the nutmeg? Yep, the nutmeg, another common nutmeg. The nutmegs today are actually pretty good size too. Another common nutmeg. Oh, this. So I had bought this device. It's supposed to keep me warm. I put that around my neck and it warms up. I absolutely was using it. It absolutely did nothing. I'm going to try it again. It was 55, felt like 51. It didn't help at all. I'm going to try it again in the future, but oh well, I was kind of hoping I discovered a secret. Stay warm. That is a beautiful fighting conch. It's not a juvenile, so it's not quite full grown. Gorgeous caramel fighting conch. Now this, I saw it and I'm like, what is going on? What kind of shell is that? And then I realized it's a quahog that's been broken. Like it completely, I don't know if somebody stepped on it. Look at how broken that shell was. And the shell, or the clam, repaired itself. Look at that. I thought that was amazing. I've seen some pretty broken shells and pretty like repaired, but that's incredible. So these clams, pretty cool, pretty interesting what they are capable of. Never mind that these snails are what makes these awesome shells. Yeah, this one is pretty big, pretty spiky, it's pretty muddy. Yeah, oh, the size is great. Who knows? I know it looks like a big lump of mud, but there is a seashell under there. Oh, garbage. Let's get that off the beach. Yeah, this area they are still recovering from the hurricane, and that's why there's almost no one here. A couple of locals, kind of like myself, I guess. I don't live here at the beach, but I do come here very often. Yeah, so it's bittersweet, I get to come here and do this, but I am typically by myself, which is fine. I just feel bad that other people aren't able to enjoy this beautiful beach and all of these amazing treasures. So I'm back in the sand dollar portion of the beach, and luckily I figured out that alternate shell bag, so I'm just gonna keep collecting to my heart's content. It would be terrible to leave all these sand dollars here at the beach. So I will admit, though, not all of them survived. And I know that some of them are just not as hardy as some of the other ones, but a whole bunch of them did for sure. Oh, alphabet cone. Oh, drat. And it's a little chipped on the aperture. However, it is an alphabet cone, so I am going to hold on to that. And I'm not going to forget about the lightning whelk. Are you alive? No, awesome. I thought for sure you might be, but I'm glad I checked. So we got ourselves a little bit of a beat up alphabet cone and another awesome lightning whelk. All right, more mud. Is it a crown? Yes, I see it. I see it. Look at all those coquinas too. That is another crown conch. Oh yeah, there's some good color on that one. I bet you that one's going to clean up pretty good. What about you? Yep, you too. You have beautiful color. I do think though, as the crown conchs get bigger, they lose their color. Actually, I think it happens with a lot of the shells. So it's kind of a mixed bag. If you want the really colorful ones, you're probably not going to get a big shell. Another lovely little common nutmeg. I can't resist those cute little shells, little potbelly shells. And another calico clam. Yeah, beautiful. And that little kiss of purple on the underside. Awesome. And then marching back toward the pier again. And this was a stretch that I had found a lot of sand dollars earlier, but I did notice that now that the tide has come up so much that a lot of them are covered. So obviously I got a couple more, but not quite as many as I did this morning. So the tide makes a difference. You're going to find more goodies when the tide is out. It's just kind of how it works. There's more beach to work with. And this pier, I can't believe that pier survived Hurricane Ian. Now this is a tellin. I'm telling you, that is an alternate tellin. So yep, another one of the tellin shells you can get down here. Ooh. So you're pretty nice. And yep, I just bet you that's going to clean up really good. So the ones with the periostracum on them, it's kind of got like that furry, it looks kind of green, like that layer. So I just soak it in 100% bleach, and it's kind of like a game to me. Like, is it going to come out okay or not? So I'm willing to try. I'm going to take a chance on those fighting conchs. And then all these turns, one, they're funny because they will face the direction that the wind is blowing. So you notice that they're all facing the same direction. That's because that's where the wind is blowing. Now these birds with the orange beaks, those are royal terns. And then I believe the other ones, the other birds to the right of them, which have black beaks, I believe that those are sandwich terns. They say that their head is black except in the winter where it looks more like male pattern baldness. I got such a kick out of that. So royal terns are there with the orange beaks. Sandwich terns are the ones on the right with the male pattern baldness. Oh, so cute. All right. Excellent. Get that garbage off the beach. So yeah, if I can handle it, if I can, something I can carry, I will always grab the garbage and get that off the beach. Now that is a knicker nut, and I'm shaking it because it's a little seed, and sometimes there's a little thing in there and you can feel it kind of rattle around. So just another little fun knicker nut. All right, back to where we started. Tide is coming in. My shell bag is heavy. My heart is light. And I'm looking forward to getting into a warm car. So let's take a look at the garbage I removed. It was 1 pound, 0.6 ounces. So in total, I've removed a little over 42 pounds of garbage off the beach. I did manage to get a couple of those sand dollars, and they were so big. So that was very, very exciting. I am going to soak those in 100% hydrogen peroxide. We got some angel wings. I did pick up the rose petal talons, that alternate talon, the lettered olives, the giant Atlantic cockle, the calico clams. We got a couple Florida prickly cockles, that buttercup lucine, the Florida conchs, or the fighting conchs because they're awesome, a couple of those banded tulips. All right, 1 calico scallop, and then those spiny jewel boxes. Oh, the common nutmegs, the true tulips, the 1 apple murex over there, that cool quahog. That was such a cool shell. The lightning whelks and a couple of really good ones. I guess I did hold on to that 1 turkey wing, the pear whelk, the crown conchs. I'm very excited to clean those up, see how they came out. And then that lightning whelk, the albino, and the alphabet cone. Those are going to be not really my favorites. I have a lot of favorites today. That quahog was really cool. So I had a great time at the beach, and that was a lot of fun. Patreons, thank you so very much. It truly means the world to me that you want to support me, and I appreciate it from the very bottom of my heart. Now, you do help me do things like travel. So next week, we're going to go look for shark teeth. So I did go up by St. Augustine, but I stopped at Michler's Beach. So we're going to go look for shark teeth, and I'm going to tell you all the tips and things that I learned while I was up there. So you have yourself a great week, and I will see you again next Sunday.